At the House of Assembly, I'm Mukesh Lapinder. This is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini providing an update on Holmes Rock Junior High School. Also, Member of Parliament for North Abaco Kirk Cornish returns to court to face rape allegations. And John Coel Jones is a WNBA champion.
Y'all know my story. Y'all know many times I've been denied it, but it was delayed. That's all it was, and I'm so happy to do it here.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
After a prolonged wait, the Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini is addressing significant advancements at Holmes Rock Junior School. Good evening all, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. With secured funding in place and plans for the cafeteria to function as a hurricane shelter, the MP highlights how these developments will greatly benefit the community and enhance the educational landscape. Raven Davis leads us off tonight.
Those who are here to spread negativity, this is now the time to come.
West Grand Bahama Member of Parliament, the Honorable Kingsley Smith Jr., addressing critics, urging them to make note of the significant progress made on the Holmes Rock Junior School. The project began in 2016 and encountered numerous delays. Smith says the former F&M administration had stalled the initiative, but the Davis administration is now driving it forward.
Based on our walkabout and what you saw, that works has begun, is moving. We are satisfied of what we're seeing here.
Officials conducting a walkthrough of the school on Monday as tractors completed the final groundwork.
You see now a well laid out ground, and also you would have seen the cafeteria. The cafeteria was an extra added component, and also I'm advised that the cafeteria would also be housed as a hurricane shelter.
Smith also leading a walkthrough of the 8 Morocco High School gym, which will also open as a hurricane shelter in the next few weeks. Meantime, he adds that Holmes Rock Junior School will be a valuable addition to both the community and the educational landscape.
The children in West Grand Bahama now will be amongst their peers, 7th, 8th, 9th here in Holmes Rock Primary School, and then the high school will be at 8 Morocco High.
Expressing satisfaction with the school's progress, he notes that it is estimated the school would be completed by the end of the year or even January. However, it is the education minister who will decide when students can return. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Well, the rape case against North Abaco Member of Parliament Kirk Cornish resuming on Monday, October 21st, 2024. His alleged ex-girlfriend took to the stand recounting details of the alleged assault in her testimony before a newly impaneled jury. Shane Stubbs has the details of that hearing in this report.
In January 2023, while sitting in Cornish's vehicle outside her residence in Cooperstown, the complainant recalled a conversation that allegedly turned hostile. She testified that Cornish grew angry, allegedly poking her in the eye and choking her. Photos displayed in court purportedly showed visible bruises on her face and her neck. After the incident, the complainant said she was afraid and asked to be taken home, where she took photos of her injuries. When questioned by prosecuting attorney Timothy Bailey about why she did not report the incident immediately, she explained that she supported Cornish during the campaign season of the 2021 general election and felt she could work through the issue as it was the first time it happened. The complainant detailed another alleged incident that occurred 2 months later on March 24th after they traveled from Abaco to New Providence for a swearing-in ceremony. She testified that after returning to their Airbnb, Cornish allegedly grew angry over a phone call and threatened her with a knife, holding it to her throat while in rage. In a moment of terror, she stated, "I saw my life flash in front of me." After retreating to the bedroom, she claimed Cornish allegedly followed her, removed her underwear, and raped her. Following the assault, she stated that Cornish allegedly spat in her face before leaving. Less than 2 weeks later, on April 4th, the complainant alleged she was raped again by Cornish at her home in Cooperstown. Now, the complainant reported the incidents to police on April 7th, 2023. She stated that the alleged assaults occurred after their relationship ended, which had begun in 2020. Now, the trial has been adjourned until Tuesday morning. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thanks, Shane. Well, police on Grand Bahama are investigating the discovery of an unconscious male. According to reports on Saturday, October 19th, 2024, officers were alerted to a man found unresponsive in a vehicle near Sergeant Major and Spinney Road. Investigations revealed that the 29-year-old victim had visible head injuries and was discovered along an unpaved road in that area. He was transported to the hospital in serious conditions. Chief Superintendent of Police Darrell Ware says that the man is now conscious.
This male was later spoken to at our RMH the following day when he gained consciousness, and he was able to relay his story to us. A 35-year-old Bahamian male was taken into custody and is currently assisting us with this investigation. We hope to bring charges before the week is out.
Well, still on the crime beat, police on Grand Bahama also seizing a quantity of suspected drugs and arrested a 46-year-old male on Sunday, October 20th, 2024. Preliminary reports indicate that around 9 p.m., officers of the Northeastern Division executed a search warrant at a home on Nelson Road, where they found a large quantity of suspected marijuana, leading to the arrest of the sole male occupant. The estimated weight and street value of the suspected marijuana is currently unknown. In news from Abaco, police on that Northern Island arrested 3 adult males and 1 female at a home after they confiscated 2 unlicensed firearms and a quantity of ammunition on Monday, October 21st, 2024. Initial police reports indicate that officers from the Criminal Investigations Department executed a search warrant at a residence in Great Cistern, where they discovered a high-powered weapon, a handgun, and a quantity of ammunition. The discovery led to the arrest of 4 occupants of the home, including 3 males, ages 56, 46, 39, and a 49-year-old female. Active investigations continue into this matter.
And still to come.
When we come back, the Red Cross Renaissance Ball drawing crowds dressed to impress. That story, sports, and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good count salad, junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Dolly Madison is having a 2-day store-wide sale on October 25th and 26th for their 2-year anniversary under new ownership. Get up to 25% off on a variety of items, from household to hardware, you name it. Sale hours on Friday will be from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's Dolly Madison's 2-year anniversary sale. Up to 25% off. You don't want to miss it. Dolly Madison.
Join the Ruby Jubilee celebrations honoring Reverend Canon Norman Lightbourne on his 40th anniversary of ordination. The banquet is Friday, October 25th, 7 p.m. at the Grand Lacayan Resort. Tickets are $125. The service follows on Sunday, October 27th at 4 p.m. Don't miss Paint Fair's Color and Design Trends 2025 Pro Show presented by PPG for architects, draftsmen, interior designers, contractors, painters, and property professionals. Tuesday, October 29th at 6 p.m. It's free and offers continuing education credit. Reserve your space by calling 352-9788 or visiting paintfair.net.
All beauty connoisseurs of the Bahamas, aka beauty professionals from the east to the west, north and the south. It's time to shift and pivot. The Beauty of Business, hosted by yours truly, Cutel DeVoe, that's me, bringing to you some of the best minds in the field of business to help you maximize your full potential. All the tea you need in the areas of branding and marketing by Corel Pinder, digital strategy by Carissa Stubbs, customer service and communication by Deborah Pat, and that money management that you need to secure that bag. All you need, Haley Newton, in one place served on a silver platter. So head on over to Eventbrite and plug in, shift, and pivot to secure your your seat or call 439-3044 for more information on how you can shift and pivot.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization. So if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
The Forever Flower Shop. Check out our new selection of artificial flowers and wreaths. Choose stems for your own projects or get a pre-made arrangement as a quick fix to a dull space. If you're a soon-to-be bride, inquire about bulk ordering for floral options that won't break the bank. It's all here at Island Bedding and Furniture, located at number 5 Queens Highway across from Caribbean Veterinary.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. It's been 17 years since the Grand Bahama chapter of the Bahamas Red Cross last hosted its annual Renaissance Ball, a beloved tradition in the Bahamian community. The event made a grand return, drawing a sold-out crowd with strong support from corporate Bahamas.
Resilient, renewed, and recharged. After a 17-year hiatus, the Bahamas Red Cross Renaissance Ball made a spectacular comeback. The sold-out gala delivered an unforgettable evening filled with music, dancing, and camaraderie. Attendees and committee members alike celebrating the event's return.
Even though we've not done this for a while, that there are still so many generous benefactors in this country who are prepared to come out tonight to show their support for the work, the programs, and the policies of the Red Cross.
It took a lot of planning. We pulled out all the stops. We wanted it to be unforgettable, and I think we've achieved that this evening.
There are a lot of people in need in Grand Bahama, so they fill a void, and I think it's important for the community to continue to support the activities of the Red Cross.
It's been 17 years since the event has been here. It really does bring the community together. It was important for us to partner to sponsor for this event because it's showing the community our dedication to the women of Freeport and the importance of early detection.
The night was filled with glamour, fine dining, and music lovers hitting the dance floor.
It's good to be able to dress up and put on your best and come out and show you up, and also, most important, support the cause.
It's been a long time since the Grand Bahamian public have been able to come to a function like this. So I am excited. I'm looking with anticipation to enjoy myself and to enjoy the evening.
So thankful for Royal Bank that has set up a booth in here tonight so everyone has an opportunity to give to this great cause. I know that they need the funds, and that's why I was happy to support them. And I'm hoping that, everybody has a jolly good time.
The president and committee also noting that despite such a long break, they are hoping that next year the Renaissance Ball will be back and better. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Certainly we're dressed to impress. Well, the National Youth March on Grand Bahama drew a massive turnout as young people from across the island came together to celebrate youth. This month, organized by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, the vibrant event featured a parade of youth organizations starting at the C.A. Smith Complex and culminating at Independence Park. Our Raven Davis was there and has the details in this report.
A massive turnout for the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture's Youth Parade and Rally on Sunday, celebrating Youth Month still in full swing. Parliamentary Secretary at the Ministry for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kingsley Smith, officially opening the event at the C.A. Smith Complex.
The youth are our future, and so we must do everything to include them, to show them the positive sides of life, to show them, especially us as parliamentarians, representative of their communities, the country, that we love them.
All schools on the island, along with various youth organizations and leaders, assembling in full force, proudly showcasing paraphernalia and waving banners while parading through the streets. This year's theme, Homecoming. Let's make more memories.
I want young people to see older folks that were young people who are making an impact in churches, in schools. We want them to follow those memories and to continue the legacy of making more memories.
Every year it seems to be getting bigger, right? There's not much wholesome activities in Grand Bahama for young people. And this is one of those activities where all the schools come together, not in competition, but to have fun.
Educators noting that the event encourages the youth to embrace their potential.
We are extremely pleased that we can debut our school in such a grand way, something that celebrates at the heart of every society what makes the society propel itself, which is our youth. We have the full support of the East Grand Bahama community with us.
It gives the children exposure. It teaches them how to come together and celebrate our culture, what we stand for.
The annual October Parade igniting excitement among students who eagerly anticipate next year's celebration.
Nice for people who don't really get to see across the islands.
For showing that our youth is important to the national, to the world, and I feel like we should keep on doing it.
Another parade concluding here at the Independence Park with an exhilarating Junkanoo rush out. And while the month is nearing its end, officials say they are committed to continuing to celebrate the spirit of youth. For the Bahamas tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
And now it's time to ask GBPC.
After a storm or a hurricane, how long does it take for power to be restored?
Thanks for the question. It all depends on the extent of the damage. After Hurricane Dorian, we've seen customers with no water or wind damage restored within 5 to 7 days. After Hurricane Matthew, we've had customers where it took weeks to be restored due to damage to our transmission and distribution system, where our assets had to be rebuilt and reconstructed.
And that's a look at stories making news. Jay, John Quell is the champion.
Big time champion.
Big time.
She's the WNBA MVP, and Bahamas is on top of the world thanks to John Quell Jones and the New York Liberty.
All right, let's go. John Quell Jones. All right, she's coming your way next. But first, there's a check on the local weather forecast.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Cause it's so beautiful.
When you order a large Pizza Hut specialty pizza, you unlock a delicious deal. For a limited time, you can add a small one-topping pizza for just $2 more. Hawaiian, Supreme, barbecue chicken, meat lovers, and more flavors. And for just $2, you can double the deliciousness. But hurry, this mouth-watering twice as nice deal won't last forever. Call Pizza Hut Freeport at 352-9191 today.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I still want to put shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
And I still want to put shoes on your feet.
We still want to put shoes on your feet.
2 locations to put shoes on your feet. Downtown Freeport, and now our newest location in the Carmichael City Shopping Plaza, right behind the Walk-Up Wendy's, Carmichael Road West.
Hey,
What are you doing?
I'm self-insuring my investment, starting with this tarp.
We all remember the blue tarps after the storm. Let's make sure that we are covered with more than the tarp. Don't allow your investment to be at risk. Protect your investment with one of our insurance policies.
Nobody
does it better.
Have you been waiting for windows? Then wait no more. Cornet Bahamas have in stock now PVC sliding windows, casement windows, and impact sliding windows with mirror-tinted glass, all in different sizes and styles. Call us at 352-1301 or visit any of our 4 locations in Freeport, Nassau, Abaco, and Eleuthera for the great products and great prices. Open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Cornet Bahamas, dream, design, deliver.
Psst. Guess what? Budget Pest Control has something important to show you. Coctodermus formisalis, the super termite. What makes them super? Their ferocious appetite can attack your home from below and above. They even attack forestry. But don't worry. Budget Pest Control has extensively studied this species on Grand Bahama. You can even check out our scientific paper. So you can count on us to protect your investment. Call Budget Pest Control, the termite specialist.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. All eyes on our very own Jonquel Jones as she and the New York Liberty captured the WNBA championship against the Minnesota Lynx 67-62 in overtime. It was the first championship in franchise history for the Liberty and Jonquel Jones. She was named Finals MVP after averaging 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists throughout the series.
Jonquel, you came to this city to win a championship. How does the reality match what you thought it could be?
I could never dream of this. I mean, y'all know my story. Y'all know how many times I've been denied it, but it was delayed. That's all it was, and I'm so happy to do it here.
Just in case you don't know her story, you left home at 13 years old. You left the Bahamas to come and live with strangers so you could chase your basketball dream. What do you have to say to your friends and family and everyone who's sacrificed for you so much along the way to have this moment?
That I'm here because of them, that all the sacrifices that they made have allowed me to be the person that I am today. Like you said, I moved over and I lived with strangers, and those strangers became my family. And Coach Rich is here today, my mom is here today, you know, my fiance is here today. But God is good, and none of this happens without my teammates and without the people that have poured into me and without these amazing fans.
I do want to ask you a basketball question because this game was so hard. The Minnesota Lynx defense was smothering and swarming. You had to continue time and time again to maintain your composure. How were you able to do that and come up with some of the biggest moments of your basketball life?
Like you said, it's the biggest moments, and you have to lock in if you want to be a champion. And it was all about this and us winning together because we really love each other. So we're here now, so it was all worth it.
Congratulations again, Jonquel Jones and the New York Liberty. And that's your Tuesday check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
It's
We all need to save. Save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
Jane Champagne and the Rhythm presents 102.7 The Rhythm turns 3, and it's a big performance with Taurus Riley live. Taurus Riley live. Oh yeah, the hitmaker, the reggae icon, Taurus Riley live. Saturday, December 14th at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom. Doors open at 8 p.m., showtime 11 p.m. For 102.7 The Rhythm. Big birthday party with Taurus Riley. Live. Get tickets online now. TheRhythm3.com. And it's a big performance. Taurus Riley. Brought to you by Jane Champagne and The Rhythm. Saturday, December 14th, 102.7 The Rhythm turns 3 with Taurus Riley. Live.
Hurricane season is here, and the Lucaya Service Company Limited would like to remind you to stay safe and be prepared. In preparation for a storm, we encourage you to 1. Assess your property and all valuable items. 2. Seal your doors and windows and repair any loose siding. 3. Secure propane tanks and small yard items. 4. Check for loose fencing and posts to prevent missiles. 5. Trim trees in advance and regularly to protect your home. Post-hurricane tips. 1. Make note and take advantage of our bulk trash pickup schedule and times. This free one-time post-hurricane service is provided to all Lesco customers and subdivisions in Lucaya. 2. To ensure that your debris is picked up after a storm, please separate all bulk trash in 3 piles: vegetative debris, household appliances, and household furniture. 3. If utility lines are damaged or visible, please contact the appropriate authorities to ensure that lines are de-energized. A team member from the appropriate authority must verify and remove any terminated lines. For more information on bulk trash schedules and hurricane tips, please visit our website and Facebook page. Lucaya, your home, our service. Stay safe and be prepared.
Your #1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that is going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Abaco Knowles. Thanks so much for watching. A live look at the Bahamas tonight is on your screen, and they are coming your way next.
Domestic violence, suicidal tendencies. Are you being stressed out from these problems? Call the national hotline at 422-2763 or 322-2763. There are trained social workers available 24 hours to help you. Know that you are not alone in this.
It's a joy, to help someone who is in need,
I'm proud to know that we are able to accommodate them with a hot meal, fresh meal, and a well-balanced meal.
A lot of our clients, as you know, it's in the inner city, and persons who really and truly and so much have lost their jobs. And for whatever reason, 2 months, 3 months, they really don't have anything. You have to have some kind of kindness to do this.
Hey there, Halloween lovers. Are you ready for some spine-chilling savings? This October, we're brewing up something special just for you. Join us for what's trending spooktacular deals with Shop Smart. Tune in on Wednesday, October 16th and October 23rd as we unveil frightfully fantastic deals that will make your Halloween celebrations unforgettable. Mark your calendars. You won't want to miss these wickedly good bargains. So grab your broomsticks and get ready to tune in. Let's make this Halloween the most thrilling one yet with Shop Smart. So see you soon, if you dare.
At the House of Assembly, I'm Mukesh Lapinder. This is ZNS.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, what impact, if any, will China Construction America's huge legal loss have on the future of the government's grand plan for a new multi-million-dollar hospital? A senior cabinet minister weighs in. Also, more roadworks planned, but the minister responsible assures the price tag to get it all done throughout the capital remains the same. And a leading clergyman suggests a layered approach to tackling a vexing issue. Here what the Anglican head believes are key factors to curbing crime. The Bahamas tonight, the national report starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Questions swarming about what, if any, impact the recent victory scored by Bahamas developer Sarkis Ismailian in a U.S. court will have on other projects in the pipeline with the Chinese Exim Bank and, by extension, Construction America. Tonight, Corval Pyfrom has one senior policymaker's take on that issue.
The recent legal victory of Bahamas original developer Sarkis Ismailian over the Chinese construction company and the huge amount awarded to Ismailian do not appear to worry Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville about the future of the new hospital the government has announced, which is to be built and funded by the Chinese government.
As you are aware, we are seeking funding via the Chinese concession loan facility, a completely different funding mechanism that was at Bahamas, which was a private entity.
Dr. Darville was part of the Christie administration when Ismailian filed for bankruptcy in a U.S. court back in 2015, charging that the China Construction America company, a subsidiary of the China Exim Bank, had purposefully misled him and failed to honor its deadline obligations. The action brought the $2 billion project to a halt for an extended period and eventually led to the Chinese government gaining control. Asked about any concerns given this latest development, Dr. Darville told reporters the situations are completely different.
We don't anticipate a similar situation because when you go into a private agreement, it is not the government who goes into the private agreement with the Chinese Exim Bank. This is government to government, which means that it's a completely different situation. And we're working out the mechanisms for this concession loan, and the funding will come by way of the Exim Bank. So I want to make that very clear.
Meanwhile, Dr. Darville says the work to getting the new $300 million hospital built is progressing.
But if you pass the site now, you'll see a sign up that indicates that we're coming soon. And so things are progressing with the Exim Bank for us.
The new hospital is expected to be built along 50 acres off the new Providence Highway. The administration says when completed, the state-of-the-art facility will house 200 beds and serve as a specialty hospital primarily for women and children. Work is expected to be completed in about 36 months. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Well, Sarkis Ismailian's landmark legal victory, clinched in a U.S. court, has also cast some doubt over the future of Bahamas, particularly amid its recent announcement of plans to expand the sprawling Cable Beach properties to add a fourth luxury resort by 2029, employing 400 Bahamian workers during the construction phase and over 500 Bahamian associates upon completion and opening.
Bahamas itself is safe. The judgment has nothing to do with the existing facility, Bahamas, which is full of tourists and which hires almost 5,000 people, 5,000 Bahamians. But the main issue for us is The Bahamas government has no liability which arises out of this. Bahama is safe as an investment. And then lastly, all of the salacious stuff which came out of the developer's statement about how there was a collusion with corrupt Bahamian officials. There is no evidence of that either, and one ought to be very careful and skeptical about anything which arises from that quarter about this matter.
In other news this evening, the Bahamas and Samoa clear the way to establish diplomatic relations and, by extension, foster a stronger partnership. The two signing a joint communique. That document, bearing the signature of Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, who is in Samoa for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, and that country's Prime Minister. Now, the new relationship seeks to enhance cooperation across various sectors, including trade, tourism, cultural exchange, and climate adaptation strategies. Discussions between the two heads also centered on the Bahamas' upcoming candidature for a seat on the United Nations Security Council, as well as the climate change challenges confronting small island developing states. Now, the Bahamas sees this as a key opportunity to amplify the voices of SIDS on the global stage. Well, Minister of Works, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, touting a major roadworks across New Providence at its budgeted price tag of just over $98 million, adding that more work is on the way for the Family Islands. His comments coming as a torrential downpour has led to an increase in potholes.
Road paving has been carried out on the following roads: critical sections of Carmichael Road and Cowpen Road, Winity Road, Washington Street, Ida Street, Jubilee Boulevard, Benria Avenue, Vendel Drive, William Street, eastbound lanes, Antonique William Darling Highway, critical section of Eastern Road, Simpson Penn Center for Boys, Temple Christian School, Palm Tree Avenue, Pink Crows Off on Ballot Road, Prison Parking Lot, Rock Crusher Road, overlay section of Gladstone Road, Royal Bahamas Defense Force Base, section of Prince Charles, where we had the rupture of the water main, section of East Bay Street, and Augusta Street. And I will say in the next few weeks you will see Coral Harbor, which has had a lot of complaints in that area. You'll see that with an overlay as we look to not only pave the area, but look at some drainage solutions there as well.
Minister Sweeting also sharing with the media that the government will test a new material to patch potholes that has been used in several other countries.
So this material, which is an overlay over the hot patch material, would hope to be utilized to decrease water infiltration and for the potholes to last longer. So this product is tested currently in the U.S. and in the U.K.
Well, preparation always the watchword heading into the Atlantic hurricane season, and it goes without saying that residents of low-lying areas should take every precaution to ensure their homes are not flooded. For a large number of people, that means purchasing sandbags, but here's what Acting Director of the Department of Meteorology, Jeffrey Sims, advises.
I always try to say this to let people know. Sand in a plastic bag will not help you.
Really?
No.
So what's the point of doing that?
The purpose of the sandbag is that the sand would absorb the water. The water cannot penetrate the plastic bag.
Okay.
You must have bags that can be penetrated by water. Croaker sacks and those other things. You defeat the whole purpose when you put when you put a sand in a plastic bag in front of your house, it will do nothing for you, I promise you.
Well, that, of course, was Acting Director of the Department of Meteorology, Jeffrey Simmons, who was appearing as a guest on the ZNS talk show, The Rundown, with host Clint Watson. Meantime, Health Minister, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville's providing an update on how the country's healthcare facilities fared during the recent storms that impacted parts of the southeast Bahamas. There were some disruptions to some facilities, he says, but assures the ministry's response team is activated and immediate steps are being taken to assist those impacted areas.
We were working very closely with NEMA and the DRA to ensure that supplies, essential supplies to our staff and the community is on board Defense Force ship, just waiting for the all clearance to go in.
Now, according to the minister, Inagua's facilities were damaged extensively, and officials are looking to get to that southeastern island to carry assessments and begin restoration.
We saw videos and we are in communication with our team in Inagua. We did sustain some damage to our facility, particularly roof damage. The team in Inagua is now doing remedial repairs, and as soon as we get the all clearance, our technical team will be in the area to assess the damage and award a contract for immediate repair.
Now, the Department of Meteorology issuing the final alert on what was once Tropical Storm Oscar at 2 p.m. At that time, the all clear was given for the islands of the southeast Bahamas, namely Crooked Island, Acklins, Long Key, Ragged Island, Mayaguana, and Inagua. Earlier in the day, it was the central Bahamas, and that's Long Island, Rum Key, and San Salvador. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
In the chaos of our daily lives, it's easy to be caught up in the rush. But when you're behind the wheel, remember, rushing can lead to disaster. Don't rush. Take your time. Remember, your life and others depends on it. Slow down. Stay alert and arrive alive. Because in the race of life, it's not about how fast you get there, but how safely.
This message is brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
KFC is giving you more to love with our KFC Bucket Meal with large size. Get the KFC Family Bucket featuring 8 pieces of juicy chicken, family fries, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4. A KFC Deluxe Bucket with 10 pieces of delicious chicken, 2 larger sides, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4 to 6. Or a KFC Party Bucket with 15 pieces of our chicken, 3 larger sides, and 6 biscuits that feeds 6. And we'll handle the dishes, plates, and utensils included, so you can lick your fingers and reach. KFC knows value, and it's finger licking good.
Experience the difference with BTC's fixed services. Whether you're working from home or enjoying family time, BTC ensures you're always in touch with the people and moments that count. BTC isn't just a service, it's a lifestyle. Stay connected, stay inspired, and live your best life. BTC.
People are going crazy for Popeyes around the world. Some have camped out for hours just to try our delicious chicken. This guy stocked up on 300 crunchy, juicy chicken sandwiches, just in case. And these lovebirds celebrated their wedding with the Popeyes cake. For real. We get it, y'all chicken lovers. Because we're just as crazy to marinate our chicken for 12 hours and make every piece by hand. That crazy love, we love.
Of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
You're looking at a shot of cruise ships in the Nassau Harbor. Welcome back. Not at all how James Darling saw his visit to the Bahamas ending. The 21-year-old American was today charged before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley with vehicular manslaughter stemming from Sunday's ATV accident on Arawak Key that killed fellow American James Palmer. Cash bail was granted in the amount of $40,000. The matter will proceed by way of a voluntary bill of indictment. Darling is to wear a monitoring device. He returns to court March 2025. Well, a new impaneled jury hearing specific details about the rape case involving the sitting member of Parliament for North Abaco, Kirk Cornish, taking the stand Monday. The MP's alleged ex-girlfriend testified that not only did Cornish threaten to take a bullet and put it through her head, but spat on her and forced himself on her without consent. She also indicated that in January 2023, she and the parliamentarian were sitting in his vehicle in front of her Cooperstown Abaco home home when their conversation deteriorated. The complainant claims Cornish got angry, began to poke her in her right eye, and choked her. Photos reportedly showing her alleged injuries were shown in court. The witness testimony continued that they left the home and went to Cooperstown's south side, and that's when Cornish reportedly made death threats to her. The court heard how the witness was afraid and asked the MP to be taken home. When the prosecutor asked why she didn't immediately report the incident, she said because she supported Cornish. The complainant also detailed another incident that happened on March 24th, 2023, indicating that after attending an official swearing-in ceremony with the defendant here in New Providence, the North Abaco MP allegedly got angry during a call she received while at their Stapleton Gardens Airbnb. This, she claimed, prompted Cornish to grab a knife from the kitchen and put it on her throat in a state of rage. The alleged ex-girlfriend told the court that while trying to recuperate from that moment, the defendant entered the bedroom and proceeded to have intimate relations with her without her consent. The complainant said Cornish spat in her face and walked off after allegedly raping her. She also listed details of another alleged rape incident 2 weeks later in April. She confirmed to the court that she reported the incident to a police station in Grand Bahama on April 7th, 2023. Cornish is being represented by defense attorneys Ty Pinder-Mackey and Linique Murphy-Grant. Well, as October marks Domestic Violence Awareness Month, the voices of survivors are growing on a pervasive issue that affects individuals of different ages and genders. Out West, Calix Forbes spoke to a victim.
I probably said something to make him angry, and he started punching me in my stomach.
Then Sandria Wright describes how she drove to the police station as her once happy marriage fell apart.
He said, well, I can continue to hit you where they won't see it, see no bruise. So he hit me in my head, and I'm driving, struggling to keep my eyes open just to get to the police station on time. And sure enough, where he hit me in my head, where he started punching me in my stomach, nothing was there. And when I went to the police, they said, miss, nothing's wrong with you. And that stuck with me because I'm like, here I am crying for help, and there was no one there.
Wright says domestic violence isn't taken seriously in the Bahamas, highlighting how societal stigma often silences victims.
A lot of it was shame. You know, you don't want to say that this person loved you. Maybe you bragged about this person for a long time, being married to them, and then it starts, and then it doesn't come off like, did you not see that he's this type of person? It makes you have a bad judgment, more or less. Say like you didn't know what you were doing.
As she navigates her situation, she learned that domestic violence isn't just a private issue, it's a societal one. Now using her voice to raise awareness about domestic violence, urging others to break the silence by working with Women United.
So it deals with abuse, it deals with women in need. And what we do once we get any invitation, persons reach out to us, women who are hurting, we try to get them shelter. If it's for a few days, we get them in a hotel. We try to look for clothing, food, helping them take care of their kids for that period of time.
As Domestic Violence Awareness Month closes, Wright's story and others serve as a reminder that domestic violence has no boundaries.
She was complaining about her boyfriend at the time, her child's father. He was stalking her. He would break into the house. He would beat her up. He would abuse her, take the child. And this one time she went on and she was begging for help. She was asking for help. And the video had reached our group. And just as we were looking into it and investigating, we heard that evening she had hung herself in the hotel room.
Although many issues are being recognized during the month of October, domestic violence victims also need a light shed. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
Good story there, Wes. The Anglican synod, meantime, breaking into business sessions today with the ultimate aim of taking a hard look at the way forward and keeping the church alive, addressing areas like finances, church participation, strengthening ministries, and engaging youth and young adults. Opening the 121st session last evening, the church's head called for more focused attention on tackling the root causes of crime. Desmond Saunders picks it up from here.
With close to 100 murders on record for the year, and as the government carries out its massive clear hold and build strategy to combat gangs and violent crime, Bishop of the Anglican Diocese of the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands, the Right Reverend Leichboyd, admits that the issue of crime is no quick fix, and no political party or government should be blamed for the high spate of violence nationwide.
It is a ridiculous thing to say that when there are a spate of murders, that the Minister of National Security or the Commissioner of Police should resign. Both parties do this to score political points, and it is wrong. It is wrong because there is no magical solution to the issues we face, and we have to change the way that we even speak about these problems.
Bishop Boyd reminded delegates that a layered approach is needed in the crime fight involving multiple agencies, and increased attention and focus must be given to vulnerable youth.
Primary schoolers and junior high students have to be the main demographic targeted in the first instance. If you wait for a youth to reach 16 or 18, that person may be too far along in their negative social development. Also, something that we have to note is that children are trending towards negative behaviors at a younger age now than they used to. And this is because they are being exposed to all sorts of things in their homes that they shouldn't be exposed to. And they are also being exposed in social media and in their community.
He's calling on all Bahamians to do their part to reach out to the nation's youth.
The issue must be looked at in the same way that we look at medical issues, scientifically, where we focus on the present as well as short and medium-term and long-term outlooks.
Desmond Saunders of Bahamas Tonight.
Stay with us on The Beat is after the break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Legacy of Leadership. Join the International Third World Leadership Association for Legacy Weekend, November 8th to the 9th. November 8th, Legacy Leadership Lecture, honoring global leader. November 9th, Legacy Walk to Remember. Join us for the Legacy Reunion Concert.
Hey guys, it's Yolanda Adams. It's about to be a celebration, November 8th through the 10th at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center. I can't wait to see you. Come on.
Visit itwla.com for details. Don't miss Legacy Weekend.
A decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
The recent stretch of storms that devastated parts of Florida may foreshadow a cautionary tale for the Bahamas. In tonight's Business Beat, Corval Pyfrom explains how Florida's trials are also causing a nightmare for the local insurance industry.
Tonight, local insurers are sounding the alarm to policyholders that premiums on properties and even the availability of coverage could be significantly impacted by the catastrophic damage that has engulfed the state of Florida due to a series of violent storms. And with weeks still left in this already busy Atlantic hurricane season and Florida still very much in the crosshairs of these storm systems, they warn that what happens in the Sunshine State could have damning implications for the Bahamas.
Concern about being able to access insurance capacity, right? If we all turn to these reinsurers for help in balancing our risks, then we may find that our capacity to underwrite local risks are in fact affected by the huge losses that they may experience in Florida.
Edward Aubrey and Charles Johnson are senior executives at J.S. Johnson Insurance. They, like other industry stakeholders, are concerned about Bahamian insurers' ability to access reinsurance if this current destructive weather pattern persists. Nonetheless, with some weeks to go in the season, these two are cautiously hopeful.
The rate increases that occurred in 2023 may just be sufficient, certainly for the Bahamas, and bearing in mind we are not faced with a hurricane for the remaining of the season, to stand in that our rates, we should not see any further increases in local rates, going into 2025.
Well, you need to make sure that you have insurance. That's the first thing. And second is you need to cover the catastrophe loss, the hurricane loss.
Climate change also a real factor for how insurers are making assessments.
A lot of these buildings that are built on waterfronts near the beaches, they're not desirable to us any longer.
It's a pretty grim outlook, and these insurers say there's not a whole lot that can be done about it. For now, consumers here will just have to hope and wait and then watch and see how what happens in Florida impacts them here in the Bahamas. On the Business Beat, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Good story there, Corval. But on a lighter note, we'll turn to LaDawn and Marcellus, who are going to give us a sneak peek of Access Now.
Well, Makusla, we have live in studio one of our very own who will be sharing her heart-wrenching story of surviving breast cancer. Marcellus, I'm sure you don't know anything about the breasts, but yeah.
I do know a lot about breasts, but I just don't know anything about breast cancer per se. I haven't experienced it, but I get you. All right.
Yes. I got you there.
Stay with us. The National Report returns after the break.
From the sugar to the jam to the pigeon peas and coconut milk. I love JBI products. My favorite product is the ginger tea. My favorite item would be the peas and coconut milk. For today, I'm trying out their white cane sugar. I want to say, I've been buying this now for 5 years. It gives me a good kick in the morning.
Whenever my mommy cooks, she must and will put the JBI corn inside my tuna and rice.
Anytime I make my sky juice, I always use JBI condensed milk. It's really good. All of the products are exceptional.
Try JBI.
Happy anniversary, JBI. Happy 30th year anniversary, JBI. Happy 30th anniversary, JBI.
Thank you, Bahamas.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
What are we gonna do? We forgot your daddy's birthday. He's in Eleuthera and we're all the way in Nassau. You got it? Okay. Yes, you're right. problem.
Well, that does it for the National Report. But stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
The Anchor Awards are just around the corner, and with voting wrapping up on September 30th, the Department of Marine Resources has been busy making final preparations.
So once our nominations would have closed, of course, the department would have gone through all of the persons that would have been nominated with a fine-tooth comb. We would have been looking for persons that would have and isn't compliant with the law. We're also looking for current licenses and permits relevant for those businesses. We also do check your social media as well. That's very important to us too. Sometimes persons post things on social media that are not in compliance with the law.
That's Fisheries Officer Irvana Moss, who shared that out of an impressive 179 nominations, the department has carefully narrowed down the finalists.
So we went through the nominations with a fine-tooth comb, and we have come up with 20 finalists that would represent 4 persons across 5 different categories. The next step is for the Blue Ribbon panel. They will decide the winner for each category.
On that note, Moss reminded the fishing community that it's crucial to stay in full compliance with fisheries laws to continue being eligible for future recognition.
Just want to take this time to remind the general public how important it is to stay compliant with the fisheries laws. In cases like this where we are honoring our legends of the sea, some persons miss out as a result of incompliance. We also want to continue to let persons know that they need to follow the rules and the laws simply for the fact of conservation and sustainability. We want to continue to be able to feed our nation for years to come.
Keep an eye on our social media pages. The finalists are about to be revealed. On November 16th at the glamorous Bahamas Convention Center, the ministry will celebrate those extraordinary fishers making waves in the industry. Don't miss out on the excitement. Get your tickets now at ticketflare.com/Anchor Awards to be part of this unforgettable night. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
A good corporate citizen, Bahamas Striping Group of Companies giving a hand to local businesses.
Plus, spending time with the country's youth, the Minister of the Environment visits QC's Science Expo. Stay close for that.
Red Cross Ball returns after 17 years. An awesome night was had. Details straight ahead.
And coming up in sports, the teams are arriving here in the capital to take a swing at the Caribbean Baseball Cup.
Tonight, Access Now starts now.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Marcellus Hall.
And I'm LaDon Davis. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now.
I can't wait to hear what Basil has to say about the weather, that Oscar the Grouch.
Actually, Oscar is frizzling out Marcellus, and we have the all clear, right?
Oh, that's good news right there. Without further ado, let's dive right into the news for you this evening. Well, Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, in its remarkable 15-year journey, has become an iconic Bahamian business success story on a number of fronts. Along with securing a number of projects across the country, the company has turned a lot of its focus to philanthropy. And now, as Corville Python reports, Bahamas Striping is looking to give a hand to other growing businesses.
For Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, creating economic opportunities for local small businesses isn't just good economics, but its chairman, Dominic Sturr, believes it helps to grow the entire country. It's how BSGC got its start 15 years ago, back then a small startup company with just a handful of employees, little in terms of capital and equipment, but afforded a $5,000 government grant that helped catapult it to what it has become today, a Bahamian conglomerate. Now the company looks to pay it forward.
The only way we can fix our country is we have to give people opportunities. We got opportunities. We got opportunities from the government with our 3P. We got opportunities from our funding company, such as Cygnus. So unless we give the same opportunities, we can't expect anything to change. God has blessed us with the opportunity, so we have responsibility to help our country to grow.
Stirrup and Company President Otario Mitchell recently addressed the Rotary of East Nassau's weekly meeting, where they highlighted a number of projects that are spawning opportunities for other small businesses, like the soon-to-be-completed state-of-the-art Nassau Village Community Center and the road improvement exercises on Eleuthera.
Nassau Village now has 20 subcontract companies working that project. Eleuthera, 63 miles of the base work is being done by 2 local companies from Eleuthera. Their contract is valued $15 million.
Mitchell says the company looks forward to the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the community center in Nassau Village. Work there, he says, is about 87% complete and has stayed on schedule.
One thing with us, we like to keep our commitments. We was on schedule from the day we built. We had the groundbreaking. We promised that they will have their Christmas function inside that building. We are pushing tirelessly to make sure that we live up to that promise.
The Nassau Village Community Center is set for completion by this December. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
Private sector schools getting creative today with presentations at Queens College's Science Expo. Students were challenged to interestingly examine the effects of long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns. Danielle Dean reports.
Science enthusiasts from 9 of Nassau's private schools met up at Queen's College's Jeffrey Brown Auditorium Wednesday to present on possible repercussions of climate change.
Our project shows how many people aren't really aware that the heat from climate change is impacting our hurricanes.
The Bahamas as an archipelago is very tiny, and if Hurricane Milton had directly hit us, we would not be standing there today. We wanted to find a way that we can de-intensify the effects of a hurricane, and our solution was using nitrogen gas inside of coral beams to slow down the effects.
This Queen's College student boasts that lots of time and energy went into his team's presentation, in his opinion, warranting the victory.
Our project is to examine the effects of climate change on Bahamian ecosystems, especially the agricultural ecosystems and plants in general. We thought we were really creative in our method of creating these boxes. Instead of going out and buying a box, we constructed our boxes out of our greenhouses, I should say, out of glass disposal boxes.
Garth Jackson, Bahamas National Trust Educational Coordinator and Expo Judge, contends 2 major factors are confidence and creativity.
I'm looking forward to going through the rest of the schools, making sure that I cover each of the schools, getting to know the students, getting to learn about their projects.
Emphasizing the cruciality of such an event, Environment Minister Von Miller.
I've seen areas on New Providence, areas in Eleuthera, where I grew up, that is now covered with water. Or anytime it rains, floods really quickly.
For reasons like this, Minister Miller believes that despite an individual's reluctance to accept the reality of climate change, the issue warrants attention. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Tanya Aldine.
All right, thanks, Danielle. Well, still to come, live in studio, a breast cancer survivor here to tell us her story. Don't blink. We'll be right back.
Hey, are you looking to save for a big purchase or occasion? Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Bond, the Bahamas Government Savings Bond, and I am guaranteed to earn interest on your money with terms ranging from 1 to 6 years. Government savings bonds are safe, and for as little as $100, you can start to save for your future. My name is Bond, the Bahamas Government Savings Bond, and I'm available to any Bahamian, guaranteed. Go to the Central Bank website and search savings bonds for more details.
Are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Raking Straight Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Van Shaw, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Racers Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack location. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Skypods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Best. Raking Scrape Explosion Reloaded.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds
with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
And you're looking at a shot of Clifton Pier by our drone pilot Neville Smith. Let's take a trip now to the second city to see what's going on there.
Family Island News is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Well, after a 17-year hiatus, the Grand Bahama Red Cross Renaissance Ball was held last Saturday at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom under the theme Resilient, Renewed, Recharged. Patrons danced the night away under the sounds of KB and the Royal Bahamas Police Force Pop Band. Grand Bahama is bouncing back, and so is the Red Cross Ball. Let's turn things over now to LaDawn, who is going to talk about breast cancer with our survivor, our colleague, Ronell Cartwright. LaDawn?
That's right, Marcellus. We are with Ronell Cartwright, who is not only our colleague, but an actual hero. Ronnie, welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Thank you.
So, Ronnie, talk to us a little bit about, I know you've been breast cancer free for a number of years. Talk to us a little bit about that, and how many years are you in?
Well, this month, actually on the 27th, will be 8 years now. Yeah, 8 years. It's been quite a journey. I've been encouraging a lot of women, you know, don't be afraid to get your breast checked out. You know, if any slight signs of maybe like a rash or any enlargement, to go and quickly get it checked.
So what were some of the symptoms you've experienced that prompted you to go and get checked out?
Well, actually, LaDawn, I was visiting my brother in the U.S., and I've always had a lump in my breast at the age of 17. That's when I noticed it. And I went and checked it out. Luckily for me, it was benign. And from then, I was always conscious of that lump, so I constantly checked myself. And back in 2016, I just came out of the shower, and I noticed like there was a lump protruding out of the side of my breast. And I remembered it was not the same lump. This lump was more to the side. The lump that I had from I was 17 was more at the top. And so I quickly called my doctor then, and I said, hey, I don't think this is the same lump. And he told me, he said, whenever you get back in town, give me a call, and we'll get it checked out right away.
So after those symptoms and you going to the doctor, what was your next course of action?
My next course of action was when I got the news. They told me that the test would take about a week because they would have to send it off. Unfortunately, the test came back a whole lot sooner. Came back within 2 days, and the doctor quickly called me. He said, are you around anyone? I was at my daughter's PTA meeting at the time, and I got the news, and when I got it, he was like, you have invasive ductal carcinoma. I was stunned, I was shocked, I didn't know how to respond to him. The only thing that I could have said was, hey, what does that mean? Like, talk to me. So my sister-in-law was with me at the time, and she immediately saw tears run down my face. And the only thing that I thought about right then and there were my kids. And so he told me that I would have to meet up with the surgeon for him to further explain exactly what the diagnosis is.
And what was your next course of action? You had surgery, you had radiation, chemotherapy?
At that time, my first course of action was, you know what, I'm not just taking this as is. I decided to get a second opinion. I flew out the very next morning, and I went to have another biopsy done. They confirmed it. It was invasive ductal carcinoma, which is stage 2 breast cancer. And I decided right then and there, hey, listen, cancer's not gonna beat me. This is my time to fight. I have my kids that I have to look after. I'm not ready to go yet. So right then and there, I put on my boxing gloves and I was like, cancer, you picked the wrong one.
So you had chemotherapy, radiation?
I had a left mastectomy. I never did chemo or radiation, even though they had suggested I did. My doctor wasn't kind of pleased about that, but it was, of course, my decision. And ever since then to now, I've been good.
So you're in remission now?
I've conquered cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't tell people that I'm surviving cancer. I've conquered cancer.
And what were some of the lifestyle changes that you've made after your diagnosis?
Since then, I cut back out on a lot of meats, tried to keep up with, like, exercising and stuff. Well, you know, I'm the junkanoo person here. Try to keep up with staying fit and try to just stay in a stress-free environment. The stress really feeds cancer. So I just try to keep positive at all times and, you know, always keep smiling and think about the positive things and, you know, where would I've been if I hadn't made a quick decision to just, you know, go and further this diagnosis.
Ronnie, thank you so much for joining us here on the Bahamas Tonight Access Now and sharing your story with us as we raise awareness for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Marcellus, what's coming up in sports?
Hey, coming up in sports tonight, we'll take a look at what's going on with the Caribbean Baseball Cup. Team Bahamas set to take the diamond. Details ahead in sports.
I've been a J.S. Johnson customer for over 15 years. This was the first and only insurance company I've ever been with since I was a teen. And the reason I stayed is because they treat everyone like family, like literally. They greet you from the door, walk you inside. You can have a nice little conversation. They treat you like family. I love it. I would definitely recommend J.S. Johnson to anybody. J.S. Johnson, that's where it's at.
Ultra Tech in your car. Fill up with Ruby's Ultra Tech. Spend less and go far. Fuel up with Ruby's Ultra Tech. Get the most out every ride. Just watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel up with confidence in every mile. Get Ruby's Ultra Tech in your tank and drive with a smile. Watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel the difference with Ruby's Ultra Tech.
Car insurance, home insurance, marine insurance, this insurance, that insurance. The truth is, you may not like it very much, but you need insurance, and it has to work for you. That's why Summit insurance policies are designed with you and your life in mind, fitting your lifestyle and needs perfectly. So you can rest comfortably knowing that your car, home, boat, and business are well taken care of. Contact our agents at Insurance Management today. Summit Insurance. We peak above all others.
The news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. A new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marcellus Hall and LaDon Davis. Live, starting September 16th.
From June 1st to November 30th, the ZNS Radio and Television Network is the #1 source in the Bahamas for hurricane information before, during, and after a storm. Now is the time to choose your radio and television hurricane season ad packages. Get extra special rates and run the ads only when you want them to run. Call the ZNS sales office today at 502-3800.
Total Sports Report is brought to you by the 6th Caribbean Baseball Cup. 6 days of high-level competition, October 23rd to 28th.
Well, welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. It's that time of the year, meaning the 6th Caribbean Baseball Cup. Getting ready to get rolling tomorrow. That's going to be at the Andre Rogers Baseball Diamond. Team Bahamas will be going up against 5 other nations for the overall crown. Let's take a quick look at what's going on for you. The squad has been named heading into the games. As we look at the roster here, Bahamas will play their first matchup tomorrow evening, and when they go up against the U.S. Virgin Islands, that game comes away at 7:30. And then following that, our first game of the tournament will be Cuba versus St. Martin at 11 o'clock that morning, followed by Dominican Republic against Curacao. Opening ceremonies will take place at 7. As we take a look at the schedule here for the entire tournament, Team Bahamas scheduled to play the feature game on a daily basis. Now, the Bahamas Youth Flag Football League returning home safely from a weekend tournament in Florida. 3 teams competing at the USA Flag Orlando Cup in 3 divisions. They have the 10U, 14U, and the 16U squads. For the 10U team, it will be their first taste of high-level competition. Meanwhile, 14U squad, they made it to the semifinals before they would bow out. 16U, they would dominate the competition, finishing undefeated on their way to claiming the championship title there. So congratulations going out to all 3 teams on their level of play. Also back home, our CAC bodybuilding team, after they competed at the CAC championships, the 6-member team competing at the event in Guyana. Squad doing pretty well, returning home with 3 silvers and 2 bronze medals. Rashad Cunningham was 4th in the men's fitness. Alexander Kemp won silver in fit model and in fitness categories. Wellington Wallace took silver in men's physique in the men's open, and Jackie Clare 4th in the event there. As far as the women's bikini was concerned, Federation now looking to continue to move forward under President Wellington Katz-Sayers, who says they're looking forward to doing big things in the near future. That's your check on sports for you here tonight. We do have our weather just ahead of us. Stay tuned.
The ZNS Total Sports Report has been brought to you by the 6th Caribbean Baseball Cup. Get your tickets now, online or at the Andre Rogers Stadium.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales at CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store. Not only do we guarantee the best prices on all your favorite building materials, but we're proud to offer the best delivery program in all of Nassau. Whether you buy 1 box of screws or a truckload of plywood, island-wide delivery is just $5. And for our Family Island customers, we're proud to offer complimentary drop-off to the mailboat of your choice. Visit us today at the CBS Pro Store on Robinson Road and check out our website to set up your next delivery.
It's time now for your Access weather forecast. Oscar is out of here, and showers associated with that system has now moved offshore. It's now just a remnant low-pressure system, but there's another area of concern that we're looking at, and that's in the Western Caribbean Sea. By the end of the month, we could see some development taking place here, and guess what? It's going to head our way, so we'll keep you posted on those developments. And it's time now for your boating forecast, and that's brought to you by Live Business, where you're always protected during the worst storms. In the Northwestern Islands, northeast winds 12 to 18 knots, the wave heights 3 to 6 feet. High tide takes place at 53 minutes past midnight, with caution flags remaining in place for the Northwestern Islands. Now the Central and Southeastern Islands, winds already now light and variable with flat sea conditions 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. And as we take you into Wednesday, middle of the week, Northwestern Central Islands, winds become northeast at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. So we'll drop that caution flag tomorrow for you. Your low tide will occur at 6:57 in the morning, with a high tide at 1:28 in the afternoon. And for the southeast Bahamas on Wednesday, westerly flow 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Thursday, for all areas, winds northeast-east 10 to 15 knots, and your wave height still at 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Low tide, that will take place at 8:03 in the morning, with a high tide at 2:31 in the afternoon. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Shores. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. Marcellus and LaDon.
All right, thanks so much, Paz. Looks a little windy out there, LaDon.
It sure is, Marcellus. Let's hold on to our hats and check in with Matea Cunningham with Let's Talk Socials.
Trending this week are Bahamian athletes. Yes, our Bahamian athletes are leaving their global mark once again in a plethora of ways. Welcome back to Let's Talk Social, guys. We're talking about our Bahamian athletic prides and joys. Jonquel Jones, Devin Charlton, and Wanye McCoy. These three athletes all have different achievements that have found their way circulating our beloved social media platforms. Jonquel Jones won the WNBA championships this weekend. You know what that means for us, right? The entire Bahamas has won those championships. Jonquel helped capture her team the New York Liberty's first WNBA title ever. Check out what the socials have been seeing.
Oh man, it means everything. It means everything to be able to pull out a championship and pull out a win. I just know how bad everybody in the locker room wanted it, and you know, it's a great group. We really love each other, so to be able to finish the season like this as champions is second to none.
Next, we talk about Devin Charlton being inducted into Purdue's Hall of Fame. The Women's World Indoor 60-meter champion has been deemed by Purdue University Hall of Fame worthy. So you guys know what that means, right? The whole Bahamas has just been inducted. I kid, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Here's some photos from that. Lastly, the youngest on our lineup tonight, Wanye McCoy, signed an NIL deal with the brand Puma. The young prodigy and Olympian can be seen in style in his newest gear, receiving well-deserved love from his Bahamian audience. This has been a packed week on socials for our athletes, and we couldn't be more proud. I'm Matea, and this has been Let's Talk Socials.
Thanks so much, Matea. Good job there. And just like that, we're all done for the night.
Until tomorrow, Marcellus. This is the Bahamas Tonight Access Now, and I'm signing off.
Don't go anywhere, though. Stay tuned. We got the rundown with Clint Watson. Good night, everybody.
I don't know, but there's all kind of cars in this parking lot, but you ain't even know where to park. Again, that's no parking. Look at this way. Like, you ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park him. That's no parking. Don't park over here. That's handicap. No, you can't park in handicap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way parking, bro. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bad, big bro. And he got a sticker inside this. This mod, though. We gotta move. This is a handicap spot. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
We are here in the time of need. There's no discrimination. The mission is to relieve the suffering. We volunteer, we deliver care. With donors and partners, we're always here to turn compassion into action. Protecting life and health with our training throughout the years. We empower to heal the world. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas. Community farming for food security. Climate programs suited for our island country. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas.
This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Did you know that if a fire starts in your home, you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape? Keep your family and home safe with these few fire safety preparation and prevention tips. Ensure that your home has working smoke detectors. They will alert you if there is smoke and fire in your home. Install a smoke detector on every level of your home, inside each bedroom and outside each sleeping area. Test smoke detectors every month and change the batteries every 6 months. Home fires can spread rapidly, and every second counts. Create an escape plan and practice it with everyone in your home. Make sure everyone can safely escape in less than 2 minutes. Keep escape routes as clutter-free as possible so no one trips or falls on the way out during an emergency. In addition to smoke detectors, fire extinguishers is an important device to have on hand. To use a fire extinguisher, remember the acronym PASS. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep from side to side at the base of the fire. We must all do our parts to ensure that our families and homes are safe in the event a fire occurs. On behalf of the Commissioner of Police, the Director of Fire Services, and all officers of the Fire Department, let's work together to help prevent fires, because fire safety is everyone's responsibility, and the life you save may be your own.
By Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. Great to have all of you with us tonight. We begin with the latest update on what was Oscar. The Met Office has issued the all clear for the southeast Bahamas. Now that Tropical Storm Oscar is indeed out of sight. The Met Office reports that Oscar has lost the identity of a tropical cyclone. Crooked Island, Acklands, Long Key, Ragged Island, Maguana, and Inagua are now in recovery mode, assessing damage incurring from the severe weather system. Well, residents in Maguana braced for Oscar's wrath for the majority of the weekend. Here's Administrator Kathy McQueen with this update.
Good day. An assessment has been carried out through the island of Maguana. We can confirm that there has been a tremendous amount of flooding in some areas, to the point where only trucks and very high vehicles can pass. All residents are safe and buildings are intact.
Now, we can tell you that the senior government officials will be traveling to Inagua tomorrow to conduct a post-hurricane assessment. ZNS News will be with them, and you can stay right here on the ZNS Network tomorrow evening for those details. But tonight, our primary focus is on the Department of Social Services. Branded as the compassionate arm of the government, the agency covers assistance from childhood to senior citizens. Tonight, we cover the various aspects of this operation. We'll tell you about community support, delve more into the system at the Ponciana Inn shelter, and what challenges social workers face. All that and more when the rundown returns. We're back right after the break. Stay with us.
That's the bear of the Bahamas. I like to go down. Oh yeah.
I've been shopping JBI Healthy Choice Coconut Milk for years.
And I've been using the JBI jerk seasoning for quite some time now, maybe about 4 years.
And whenever I get my JBI jasmine rice, I love to pair it with the JBI kidney beans. I've been using JBI kidney bean with coconut milk for about 10 years.
I enjoy using the JBI product. I love the green pigeon peas, especially on a Sunday when I have to cook that family meal. I've been using it now for a few years. My family love it, and we all enjoy it.
I normally make my own jerk, but this is the next best thing.
Try JBI.
And I want to wish you a happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, JBI.
Thank you, Bahamas.
Welcome back. Well, Bahamians, listen up. Social services is intended for the poorest of the poor. That's their mandate, to help the less fortunate in need. There are 5 centers in New Providence with representation also on the Family Islands. Residents can also access social services online at promise.gov.bs. Well, social services officials are addressing several emerging concerns, namely the breakdown of the nuclear family and limited support systems that are in place. Statistics show that traditionally more women have applied for assistance, and the department has experienced now a shift with men aged 40 to 60 years old now applying for various assistance. And then there's the working poor. By definition, this is a segment of the population earning a salary, yet the reality is their salaries are maxed out by mounting monthly bills. Sounds like a lot of people. To provide more clarity on this is the Assistant Social Services Director for Community Support, Shirley Kelly. Welcome to the Rundown. It's good to have you, Ms. Kelly.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
We understand, of course, that there are 2 areas of assistance in the greatest demand, which is, of course, food and temporary shelter. First of all, before we address how this is being handled, let's address what are the issues we are seeing, first of all? Because people generally think social services is there to help people whenever they're in need and to be able to take care of those that need, and then there ought to be a supply that never runs dry. But what are the issues that are leading to really the strain that we're seeing on social services? What are you seeing in our society today?
Well, good evening, Mr. Watson, and thank you so much for having me on the show. Well, what we see in social services right now is that there are a large number of persons coming in to our department to receive assistance with temporary shelters mentioned and with food. The numbers for temporary shelter actually has doubled within the past 3 months. Doubled between July and September. They've doubled. We've had a number of persons coming in seeking help for various reasons, and what was mentioned earlier, a large percentage of men. This is a very new development I've seen over the years.
Why is that, particularly with men? What is going on? What is the trend causing this?
Well, I feel that men, sometimes a lot of men are going through various challenges in their personal lives, and sometimes men may not really can't properly handle the stresses and the strains that life will have to put on them. And so this is where we see persons coming in actually for shelter. And so some of the men may have made decisions in their lives where they've had challenges with maybe drugs or alcohol and made some choices, and maybe they might have relationship problems with their families, etc. And so then they're caught at an age where they cannot seem to handle the stresses of life, and so they turn to us.
Are they working?
Some of them are working, and most of them are not working, but some of them are.
So is the issue still now unemployment? Because, you know, people will say, well, there's so many construction jobs out there now, there's so many things to do. Why are people still not being able to find work?
Well, sometimes, this is my personal view, I believe that some persons just choose not to work. And sometimes they find it easier to go along life just maybe doing a side job or something small, or taking up a hustle here and there, etc. And so they do not want the responsibility and the commitment of taking on employment, full employment.
I'm going to talk more about shelter needs in a second, but I want to go back to food.
Yeah.
That's a concern.
Yes.
If people, more and more people are coming to social services for food, something's happening in our society that we're not getting a handle and a grip on. Talk to me about this.
Okay, well, you know, food is the basic need of the country, and we all know that the prices of the food in the food store is very high. I mean, all of us have challenges trying to purchase food for our families, and we find that in social services, you have persons who may have maybe up to 3 or 4 or 5 children.
That's,
to go in the food store,
that's a big food bill.
Right, that's a large food bill. And if you're talking about somebody who's making a minimum wage or just above minimum wage, it's really sometimes a great challenge to meet that demand. And our department assists with your food bill. We don't take over your food bill, but we assist with you having to purchase your food.
How long do you assist with the food bill?
Well, the approvals are done for a year. There's a reassessment after a year. So you could be assessed for the food program and be placed on our food program, and then you will stay on the food program for an entire year when a reassessment is completed.
What does that afford you on the food program? What do you get?
Oh, well, you would get, well, now we're moving with the 21st century, Mr. Watson. We're excited in social services that now we have a digital wallet to providers, and then we also have a prepaid card.
Right.
So persons are not easily identified as clients of the department in that they could go to the food store with a card just like all of us.
And look like a normal person
and look
purchasing.
just like everybody else. Swipe the card and get your groceries.
So you top up the card?
The cards are topped up, and then, like I said, a digital wallet providers is also purchased on the buy.
How much money do people get for food assistance a month?
Presently, for a single person, it's $92 once you've been approved for our food program. A month.
A month?
A month.
$92 a month?
Yes, for a single person.
For a single person.
For a person. And if you're a person with a family with up to 5 children, you could get up to $208 per month. Now, understand, we are an assistance program, and we're not really taking care of your food bill. We only can assist you with so much
That's what's important for you to understand.
Mm-hmm.
You don't provide grocery for them to live off for the month.
Yeah.
You assist them.
with them, yes.
Which means there has to be some other means.
Yes.
To be able to take care of your family and provide food for your family.
Exactly.
But is that the reality? Are people just pretty much living off of that food assistance only for what they buy grocery for?
I do not feel that they are.
You don't think so?
No. I feel that we do help tremendously, but I feel the persons have other avenues to which they could get some assistance. And we're really excited about religious organizations and some NGOs that have come up and stepped up to the plate, where persons could also get supplement food
You
assistance.
have working people who are on the food assistance program.
Mm-hmm. We have working persons. We also have government employed persons.
You have government employed
Yes, we have persons of various categories. When you talk about persons who are working, a lot of the persons who are working make minimum wage, like was mentioned earlier, and also you have persons who may have a government job or a job in a private firm, but their salary is completely maxed out. Bahamians live a really good life, if you say it like that. They like to have a car, they like to have things. That's us. So you have persons who would have gone to the bank to purchase furniture, to buy a car, to add other things to their house just for decoration, or to take a vacation, or to buy school supplies or whatever.
So I'm going to be the devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Should government be assisting those kinds of persons with food assistance?
Well, the government, you know...
At the end of the day, that's you and I and everybody else, taxpayers' money, that's paying for it. And are we then saying, are really the vulnerable and the poor, are we really providing for them, or are we providing for people who've just made irresponsible choices?
Well, we have two various categories there. Mm-hmm. Okay, when we look at our department, we are the compassionate arm of the government. So we have to try and see how we can help as best as we can.
Even regardless of how you got in the situation.
If a person comes to us with 5 children and their salary is, they come to us making, maybe their salary is $2,000 a month, but at the end of the month they have $300 coming to them. It's impossible to pay rent, buy food, or whatever.
Exactly.
And you have 3, 4, 5 children to pay for. We
have
to think about those children. So one of the things that we're really trying to do, and we have started already in our department, is trying to empower our Bahamian persons to become self-sufficient, not dependent on us, but to move and to transition into a state where they're becoming independent. And one of the things that's key is to help to plan out your finances.
That's important. And here's why I say that's important. Because I believe Bahamians, we have the tendency to put ourselves in predicaments, and then we expect somebody to get us out of it. And I don't want to appear to be insensitive, because I believe there are people genuinely have situations who want to do better, but because of what life threw out there, they had to deal with it, and so they need assistance. And that's what I believe we ought to be there for people. But I think it becomes very frustrating when you have people who are out there bad-mouthing the system, talking bad about the system, but they're benefiting from the system and still complaining about it when other people who genuinely need the system may not be able to access it, and yet people are complaining about it.
Yes.
It's not supposed to take care of you. It's supposed to provide assistance for you.
Short-term assistance.
And you
short-term assistance.
You've added to that.
Temporary
A temporary assistance. You're not supposed to be on this the rest of your life.
No. No, and what we've seen is that persons become so comfortable and relaxed in a state that they feel that they could just, oh, don't worry, Miss Kelly, I have another child. We could add another $20 because every child you had to add another amount
Because
of money.
when you have another child, it goes up.
Right, it goes
so
up.
they proudly come and say,
yes, yeah.
I need to go up now, go have another child.
Sure enough. But what we're trying to really try to get Bahamians to recognize is that your life is not just for the moment. There is time, and then you have a period to which you have to continue to live beyond a certain point. So we're going back to the young men again. They were young before, you know, and now they're 40 and 60, and they realize, where did all the money go? I have to go to social services. I've been in social services for a long time, and I can tell you, the men never came, but now they come comfortably. At least they don't appear to be ashamed to me when they come into the office. And then they have to ask us for things like shelter, someplace to sleep, which is another basic need for a human being. You know, so we really are trying to get persons from an early age to be able to appreciate you have to steer the course for your individual life. The government is here to help, to assist, to provide support, etc., but we're not here to take over your life, as some persons would like to assume. But let me just want to mention here, Mr. Watson, an interesting thing started to happen since we've been working with the temporary shelters over the past couple of years. You're coming to me, telling me that you do not have any monies to pay your rent, and you're sleeping in your car. You could understand, okay, you purchased a car, things might have gotten tough, etc., but when you go and check the car is a self-drive car. So you're actually paying $300 a week for a car, but yet still you're coming to me and say, I cannot afford rent.
And for people who understand,
so it's like
self-drive, it's a rental.
Yes, it's a rental.
So they're paying for a rental car.
Yes, but coming to us to ask us to help them to find somewhere to sleep. So the whole idea of us providing assessment and counseling is for us to help you to appreciate the fact that, okay, you might need a car, yes, but is it a car? Is a rental car a necessity at this point when you're at a very low point in your life? And so that's one of the things we provide with our department. We try to help clients, clients, to help them to recognize that you have to move beyond the point that you're at. You have to move beyond that point. Your children, you know, when you have children looking at you and expecting you to be a father, to be a mother, to help them in their life, you know, we're trying to help you, to help them, so that our society could be a greater place.
And I hear you talk about two essential things, food and shelter. I cannot help but think those are two also basic requirements of any government to ensure its people can have access to food and have access to some place to live. Now, how do I say this gingerly? Because if we're recognizing, as a Bahamian people, that social services' two biggest demands are food and shelter, that should tell government a bigger picture.
Yes.
We have issues in this country with people being able to access homes, and we have a bigger problem with people being able to buy food. And to me, that should say these are two essential things that any administration ought to want to fix for its people. Why? Because people are homeless because, one, they either cannot afford to buy a home or they cannot afford to pay rent for a home. And then we look at the rent situation, you hear people talk about it every day. It's almost like paying a mortgage. Rent is extremely high. Rent is extremely high. The waiting lists for homes are extremely long. The qualification for homes are extremely difficult. Anybody listening to me who want to be able to meet the basic needs of your people would understand there are two basic issues. Someplace to live and something to eat. Biggest challenges that we're faced with.
Well, you know, when that big challenge became very big, it was after the Hurricane Dorian, and we had a number of persons that had relocated to Nassau from Grand Bahama and Abaco. Some eventually stayed in Nassau, and so you had the rental prices go up very high during that period.
People took advantage of the fact that homes were in demand, and they went up on the rent.
Yes. And then we have a lot of landlords, from what I've gathered from our clientele, who saying that the landlords don't rent anymore to persons with children. Or with
could you imagine? I've seen it. Yes. I've seen people say, you know, no children allowed. And I'm thinking, don't we have laws in this country that specify that if you're going to be a landlord, some things you're not allowed to specify against? Just the cost of renting those, ridiculous. $900 for an apartment has no furniture.
Right.
So when I pay the first and last month rent, which is almost $2,000, where do I get furniture from to sleep in the house? It's crazy. Rent is crazy. Food is crazy. We talk about it all the time, right? And even I'm sure those food programs will tell you the cost just to purchase ingredients to provide meals for people is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Should I just interject here,
Please?
sir? That apart from rent and apart from food, we do provide, the department, a number of other assistance for persons. We provide financial assistance where we assist with purchasing of a fridge, a stove, for bed.
You assist with that as well?
We do also. Bunk bed, single bed, etc. And so we try to help clients as much as possible once they would have once they would have qualified following the assessment. And there is an assessment process, I should say, because persons also believe that they could just come into our office and say, oh, I want this, I want that, or next thing. But as social workers, we are trained professionals who, most of us have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, even a doctorate degree in our department. And one of the things we want to do is to help our clients to recognize that they have to, I keep going back to this point, to move forward and help themselves to become independent. So if we can help you to help set up, if you help you with the rent, help you with a fridge, stove, bed, etc., then you could move from that point on.
We're going to go to break soon, but I'm sitting here and thinking, as we talk about the problem, you need solutions. Here are some solutions we need. Large companies need to come together and begin to buy in bulk for their staff and be able to sell to their staff at a discounted rate groceries. The mega companies, the big companies who can buy these large shipments and import them in, ought to do that and set up a store that their employees and their families can come and shop at a discounted rate. And then perhaps we'll see a lot of these wholesalers and retailers who are charging these large prices because they will tell you, oh, the price of food has gone up because of shipping and so forth. But what they won't tell you, and I can tell you this right now, are the concessions the government have made at the ports for these large wholesalers and retailers who get concessions when they import. Government has waived many taxes and duties and has put in place programs with Mediterranean shipping that people who bring in goods and food can do so without paying all those high tariffs. But here's the problem. They're not passing on the savings to the consumer. And that's just being greedy. And at the end of the day, people are struggling to buy food simply because wholesalers, some of them, not all of them, because some of them are very good stewards and community partners, but there are some of them who are only concerned about their own dollar, and they will make the savings on the back end, but never pass it on to consumers. And so what needs to happen is communities need to become communities again, where they come together, pool your resources, organizations, pool your resources, churches, pool your resources, buy in bulk for your church members and allow your church members to come to your store, set up a store at discounted rates, and for the church members, they bring their card in and show they're a member of the church, and they can shop and get goods at a cheaper rate. We have to find a way to beat this issue of people being able to afford food for their families. These are practical solutions that we need to have in our country to be able to fight back at the high rising cost of food. We import everything. Now, unless you're going to be in your garden and you're going to eat all day vegetables that you farm in your garden, and that can be your diet, and that can be your food, then that's fine. But for some people who need a little more than what they grow in the garden, they eat and they cook. They have to find great solutions to be able to beat this rising cost of food. But again, I always say, government has to listen. Food and shelter, basic needs. And then you have to provide ways and outlets that people can have access to that, or what we're going to end up having is a greater poverty count in this country of people who cannot afford to to pay rent.
Yes.
And people who cannot afford to buy food.
Yes. I just want to say, Mr. Watson, that we've seen in our department such a breakdown in the family structure.
Yeah.
That really is a vexing problem, and because persons, some of our clientele, some of them may not have ever experienced the family life. When I say the family life, like you said, mentioned earlier, being able to pool and share and live and exist and whatever, some persons don't even know what that feels like. And so they feel alone in this world. So this is why sometimes they have to refer to us and come to us for help, because they come to us, oh, I don't have nobody. And you ask them, where's your mother, where's your daddy, where's your sister? And they're like, but I don't have nobody, nobody's here. You know, my mother's died and my whatever, and I'm by myself. And they literally are living basically on their own.
Well, they have a good auntie, but her place that she has extra,
yes,
she has an Airbnb, so she ain't getting a deal to sleep in. She's making an income off of that.
Well, it's true.
It's a reality.
It's true, it's true. And the level of interpersonal relationship and the fact that people actually love and care and support and give each other the kind of love that they need for each other. It's lacking dreadfully.
And we're experiencing that. We're seeing what's happening in our society as a result of a deterioration of the family.
People are alone. I'm telling you, people are really alone.
Let's go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the demands, more demands for social services, looking at the family islands. Because if you think it's just in New Providence, stories are probably just as grave on the family islands. We're going to talk a little bit about that. You're watching The Rundown. We're back after this. Stay close.
That's the bear of the Bahamas. I like to go down. Oh yeah.
Hardware is the helpful place. Everything you need under one roof, from electrical, paint, plumbing, outdoor, barbecue, automotive, lawn and garden, pet supplies, houseware, and seasons. Hurricane season is now here, so for all your hurricane needs, we have a 25% off bargain zone.
Hey, thanks. I would have given more stuff, but I didn't bring my money. I thought this was a club, and I thought everything was free. Finally know what it is now. Ace.
We're located on St. Albans Drive, West Bay Street, open Monday to Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and closed for lunch 2 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs.
Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the sunshine one.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
Welcome back to The Rundown. A special good night to all of you on social media watching us, those of you on YouTube, and of course, those of you in the Lion's Den. It's great to have you with us. We'll take your comments and your questions as we go along. We're talking with Assistant Social Services Director for Community Support, Shirley Kelly. And of course, we're talking about what we're experiencing in social services, why people are, what are those kind of services they're accessing. And even on the family of islands, the need is there as well. This is not just in the capital or the urban areas.
Oh, definitely. We have social services represented in all the major family islands. So all the services that we offer in Nassau is available in the family also.
Are we seeing the same kinds of needs on those islands as well?
The same types of needs that you have here, you will have in the family islands. But you find that the family islanders are still a little bit more independent than Nassau.
Let's talk about
New Providence.
Let's talk about some of the issues that you're dealing with every day in social services, because, and for full disclosure, the Broadcasting Corporation comes under the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, and so because of that collaboration, we talk a lot about all of the various departments and ministries, and it was an eye-opening experience when I sit and listen to the managers and leaders from social services talk about their various areas and the challenges they face and some of the cases they're facing every day. Let me tell you, Bahamas, and all of you watching, wherever you are around the world, the professionals in social services, I have nothing but the utmost respect for them. Now, you can get mad all you want, talk about how the people they take along to answer you and how they talk to you bad. Because I hear the stories over and repeatedly. Oh, they talk to you, Mr. Watson, they talk to you bad. Oh, the people that treat you so horrible. You know, they're supposed to be providing the service, and I'm not going to say there aren't people who do that, right? In every institution and organization, sadly, you're going to have your high performers, and then you're going to have your gutter people. They everywhere, in every organization. Your high flyers and the ones who are not your high flyers. So I won't say that won't happen, and that's never tolerable. I'm sure you don't tolerate bad treatment of people who are trying to access services. But when you understand what is on the plate of the social workers especially, understand that the need is far greater than the number of people who work in social services. Do you have a figure on about an estimate of how many social workers there are?
Well, we have a staff in the Bahamas of over 300 persons.
300 social workers?
Right. Well, I'm not saying 300 social workers, but 300 persons. So you have technical staff, support staff, and we have also case aides and training workers.
So 300?
Yeah.
But the cases far exceed that number?
Right. Oh, definitely.
In the thousands?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Thousands, yes.
So that gives you an idea of how much they have to deal with on a regular basis. Talk to me about some of the cases that come before you. What are some of the things that social services is facing in this country? Because our people need to know, because sometimes they live in a bubble and believe all is well and there ain't no real issues going on in this country. Talk about what you face.
Well, one of the things I did mention is the breakdown of the family structure.
Yeah.
And as a result of the breakdown of the family, then you find a lot of problems coming out of that. One is child abuse. You have children who have been physically, sexually, emotionally...
Still happening.
Still happening. And the government sometimes have to step in to the point where the courts will make a decision that the government will take the children for a short time while the parents would receive some kind of counseling. That's a problem. Then there is the other one that comes out of child abuse. I call it out of child abuse. It's domestic violence.
Oh.
You have boyfriends beating up girlfriends, husbands beating up wives, and in some instances, women beating up boyfriends.
Women beating boyfriends?
Yes.
That's happening?
Yeah. So you have those persons who would go into our domestic violence unit and get some counseling, etc. And, we try to see how best we could help them. So those types of problems, they bring a lot of issues to families and cause a great breakdown. So you have a lot of angry and bitter persons. I tell you, I had a gentleman in my office yesterday. I mean, this man is like, he almost wanted to come across the desk and chew me up for no reason. That's because of the pain that he's experiencing in his life, and he's trying to deal with himself. So that was, and then we have persons who would just be so frustrated because they cannot meet their financial demands, become very depressed. We see a large number of mental persons, people who are actually losing it. They're seemingly normal, but you deal with them long enough, you realize, oh my God, this woman needs help. She needs counseling. She met
So mental illness is increasing in our country while a lot of people are not paying attention to it.
Well, I cannot quote, you can't quote me, but mental illness is increasing, but from my vantage point, I've seen an increase in the number of persons who come in who would be experiencing some mental issues, yes.
And that is as a result of what they're going through.
The pain and the suffering and the
can't meet your bills, can't
support
provide,
system.
No
like I said,
system.
you're alone in this world, so you having to deal with all of these things and having to face, and then you have to go to work, some of them. Then you go to work and go to a job that you're not making much money, then you have the children crying over your head, so it's a lot that people are going through, and it's very, very difficult for them to cope. And so this is where you would have persons being physically abusing each other, abusing the children, and then you have that sick mind who may be sexually abusing the children and stuff, which is really sad, you know, but these things are real.
How do we help people like that? Do we have enough resources to help people? Do we have enough professionals to reach out and help people? Do you have other partners in the community to help social services address some of these issues?
Well, I would say to you that we do in social services, after we would have assessed a household, we refer those families to various agencies in the community. CCAC, where we could get counseling. You refer them within our department. We have a parenting unit. Persons could go in national parenting classes that they would attend. They get a certificate at the end of that time to say that they would have received counseling.
Bahamians doing it. Because we like people to meet our needs. We don't want to get the help we need to get ourselves out of a problem.
Now, I'll tell you one thing. With the parenting issues, a lot of them come through the court. So it's mandated. Yes. And so this is another thing we're trying to do with our temporary shelter program. We're trying to make sure the persons complete certain aspects of our program, like they're mandated to attend sessions on planning, financial planning, budgeting, self-esteem, family relations, etc. And so we'll be making, well, can't you say you're making them? You're making it mandatory for them to attend so that they can see the benefit of it at the end of the day.
The budget is only so big.
Yeah.
Only so much you can do.
Yes.
How do you make it happen?
Well, like I said, with the NGOs and the other support systems out there, we would depend on them, or we would refer clients for additional help. Like you said, our food amount is not very big. We would say, okay, maybe on a different day you could go to this place or that place, and you could get us further assistance. And a lot of churches also provide help, yes.
Who is there for the social worker? If you're dealing with these cases all day, every day, all week, you need an avenue of relief.
Yes.
What happens to the social worker?
Well, the social worker, for us, we have a psychiatrist who's assigned to our department. So persons who would be overwhelmed, etc., they can go ahead and get free counseling to that level, And for the individual social worker, well, I suppose that's your personal challenge for yourself.
You've got to find a way to get your
to keep yourself
relief.
going. Yeah, you go exercising, you'll go out to hang out, to get something to eat or drink in the evening.
Go have a cocktail after a long day.
Or you go for a dance, or you travel.
Or you go to church and worship.
Or go to church and worship or whatever. So social workers in their own way have found ways to cope as much as possible. I have tried to find my ways to cope over the years.
What are some of the things you do?
I go walking, exercise. I love my garden. I love my flowers and stuff like that. I love to cook and stuff, you know, I like to entertain and set up the table and stuff like that. Those things motivate me. And I love my children. I love my family. And those things keep me going. My church, very involved, my church. So those things keep me going. So I feel that the social worker has to find her balance within his or herself. We do have male social workers. Within themselves to be able to continue going on in the profession. Because people are like, wow, you stay on that job long. How did you do it all these years? Because some of the children I worked with, they're making mega bucks, even more when I say children. Some of the clients that I work with as children, they are doing extremely well, even better than me, making more money than me, Mr. Watson.
It's for the love of the profession.
Well, for the love of the people and for the love of my country, yes. For the love of the people, the love of my country, I do the profession.
Well, we say thank you, because people like you that keep the country going.
Yes.
Family is so important.
Yes.
Somebody's saying it right now, Yvonne McKinsey's in the lines and saying family is so important. Can't stress it enough. We have to talk about family. It's so important. And thank you for all the work that you do in helping to bridge and keep our community together. We appreciate you.
And we would love for the Bahamian people to see the value in what we do. I mean, we do have persons that may not have had the best of experience, and we do apologize for that, but we want to make sure that our Bahamian people get what they deserve in this country. And we have a beautiful country.
We do.
Why not live in this country and be at peace?
Thank you.
Okay.
Ms. Kelly, thank you for being on the show today.
Sir.
Still to come, how is the Poinciana Inn shelter on Bernard Road helping social services house the needy? Well, we talked to two people who can tell us about these shelters. The answer is next after the break. Stay with us.
That's the bear of the Bahamas. I like to go down. Oh yeah.
My JBI. I love JBI coconut water. It is very refreshing.
I am a lover of JBI. I always use the sweet corn. I also the corned beef, the rice, the peas, and the condensed milk. They're my favorite.
I like JBI because all of their products taste really good.
I love JBI because their corn tastes really good.
But these are good quality products, and I enjoy all of the JBI products.
Try JBI.
Happy 30th anniversary, JBI.
Happy anniversary, JBI.
All right, congratulations to the JBI 30th anniversary on the good services and the good prices on the product.
Thank you, Bahamas.
From June 1st to November 30th, the ZNS Radio and Television Network is the #1 source in the Bahamas for hurricane information before, during, and after a storm. Now is the time to choose your radio and television hurricane season ad packages. Get extra special rates and run the ads only when you want them to run. Call the ZNS sales office today at 502-3800.
That's the bear of the Bahamas. I like to go down. Oh yeah.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs.
Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for digital.
Welcome back to the show. Of course, acknowledging all of you watching my social media and those of you watching on the various networks, your cable providers, however you're getting access to the ZNS network. Thank you for joining us here on the Rundown. The Department of Social Services primary shelter here in New Providence is located at the Poinciana Inn on Bernard Road. There are other entities on the list as well. Now, if you didn't know, there are terms that govern the operation of the shelter, including an exit strategy, Bahamians. Exit strategy. The ultimate goal, social assistance should transition persons from dependency to self-sufficiency to economic empowerment. Joining us now in the Poinciana In-Shelter Administrator, Don Darling, and Chief Social Worker, Andrea Newbold. Ladies, welcome to the show. Great to have both of you here. Let me first of all start by saying thank you for the work that you are doing. Sometimes it can be a thankless job because you're constantly trying to help people and help them in a situation that they don't want to be in and transition them out of that. And sometimes people can be not appreciative. They can be very rowdy. In trying to get access to those services. But let's begin by talking about the purpose of the shelter. I guess we can start with you, Don Darling. The purpose of the shelter. Let's talk about that.
So the purpose of the shelter is really simple. It's to provide people a respite, really. A place where they can come, it's safe, and you're not paying any bills. And so the idea of coming to the shelter is a place where you can start to save, to move to your independent life. And so that's what we're there doing. We're providing you the opportunity to make some changes, to look at some things, and get some rest and start over again.
So in Bahamian terms, we allow you time to catch yourself and then get back on your feet.
That's it.
Not stay and enjoy free accommodation for as long as you'd like. It's for a period.
Right, it's up to 3 months. And so...
Up to 3 months?
Up to 3 months.
Not a year?
Not a year, not 2 years. And so what we're finding now is the difficult task of saying to somebody, we've done what we've been designed to do. We have the interventions and you didn't take advantage of the interventions. And so now we have 150 people waiting. The question for the Joe public is, what do we do? Do we allow people to stay indefinitely? Or do we say, listen, your time is up? We have mothers that are living in cars with their children. We have people sleeping at the front of the police station, sleeping at Superwash parking lot. What do we do? You know, we have to move on and give someone else an opportunity.
And that's the part we don't get to understand the full story. All we end up hearing is social services put somebody out. How cold, how heartless, but not understanding the backstory as to what is transpiring, or not understanding the wait list of people who are in urgent need of having roof over their heads as well. Is it a lack of understanding, do you believe? Is it a lack of understanding, people not understanding the policy? Is it not explained to them? Andrea Newbold, maybe you can take that. Do people not know when they come in that this is for a duration of 3 months, unless there's a strenuous circumstance? It's 3 months, and after that, you're going to be required to leave. Do they not know that?
Yes, Clint. When we actually assess persons, and these persons normally come through community support, what Ms. Kelly was talking about, we have 5 of those, and they normally come through. So the social worker there will explain to them that this is only up to 3 months. Now, what they have to do is every 2 weeks, they have to be actually assessed again every 2 weeks.
I was about to ask that. How do we show they're prepared?
They get extensions
right.
every 2 weeks, 14 days. So that is done. So it is explained to the clients that this is a temporary shelter. And what we don't want to do, we don't want to become enablers, because what we want to do is make sure our clients, like we say, be able to be independent. Now, I study social work, and the social work what I study is to assist a person, to help them to stand on their feet. And you have to do certain things. There's even a science to social work. And so we put things in place. So these are explained to the clients, and they know all the rules, they understand it. But I understand, you know, you've been out there on the streets for a while, and so now you have a safe place. And now you're saying, okay, you only could be there up to 3 months, okay? But we put things in place which you need to comply with to get you to stand on your feet again. And most of the times, they don't want to comply, and that's the important thing. You have to comply. And that's why persons at the shelter, and maybe all the buzz you've been hearing, non-compliant. If you're non-compliant, they don't, you know, you have to comply, and we're doing it for a reason, not to hurt you, but to help you, to get you on your feet and put things in place so you could get out there and stand on your 2 feet.
What are some of the things they have to comply with? What are some of the things they're required to do while they're at the shelter?
Well, the first thing is we have to do we'll have to look extensively at your finances. And so talking about how did you get here? You know, we talked about it earlier about maxing out with different loans and this sort of thing. So we're looking at, you know, people that want to eat out every day, right?
On the drive through the fast food restaurants.
Right. When we can, the shelter is a place where you can start to go back to a village mentality, go back to communal living, right? You have rice, I have corned beef or steak or whatever, and we could come together and everybody can eat, right? Instead of us going to all these various drive-thrus. And so it's just an opportunity for you to say, hey, if you need parenting classes, if you need help reading, we're partnering with different organizations. If you need a resume done, if you need a police record done, we're helping you. If you need to be retooled, we're sending you to BTVI. We're sending you wherever you need to go to assist you with wrapping ourselves around you, giving you the support that you need in order to maintain a stable life.
You know, as it comes down to prioritizing, right? And I think a lot of Bahamians struggle with that. You cannot be out there talking about how things tough in the Bahamas, but you on the drive-thru line for half an hour. Ordering food that can cost you a pretty penny. It is very hard to find cheap specials now in these fast food restaurants. So if you're on the drive-thru line 3 times a week, things can be tough. You in the hair supply store getting extensions, getting your products, and getting your nails done, things can be tough. Prioritizing what you need to do to get back on your feet with things that are important. But I think a lot of times people expect that, oh, I gotta worry about that. I got someplace to live. I'm in the shelter. They ain't gonna put me out. You know, I pay all my taxes all this year for that. Government can take care of me. And they stay there thinking, oh, you can't put me out. And then when you say, well, no, we have other people who need to access the service as well. You've had the opportunity to access the service. You've had the chance to do some things to get yourself back on your feet. You've not done it. You have to actually leave so somebody else can have an opportunity to have the same thing. To me, that sounds like fairness. It sounds like fairness, but in the face of what we hear, we always take a story and we twist it and we make it sound so horrible and make it look as if something so wrong is being done to somebody. But what we don't recognize is that as a nation, everyone ought to have opportunity to access a benefit that's available. Why should only you have it? Why should only you be living for a year free when other people are waiting for shelter and only want a couple of months to get back on their feet and they can do it? And I keep explaining to people that we have to understand that as a nation, a small nation, we have to pool and share the resources that are available for everyone. It's available for everyone, but everyone can't access it because we have the few who believe that only them should have access to the service. That can never be easy when you have to tell somebody, listen, your time is coming up. And do you do that? Are you counting down to them saying, listen now, you only got a month left. What you gonna do? You gotta make sure, because in a month time, you're gonna have to go. Is that happening to them understand the reality that, listen, you're not gonna be extending this after a month?
That's a difficult thing, and I grapple with that every day, right? Because I have the demand where persons are sending me names and people that I've never met that need the break, but then I'm having to go to persons that I've developed relationships with and having to say, listen, your time here at the shelter is coming to an end.
Wow.
Or the fateful day will be here soon, or whatever, however I'm gonna express that. And them saying, well, I'm not ready, you know, and seeing that fear and feeling like, wow, you know, could I have done more?
Right.
You know, so I deal with that on a regular basis. But Clint, the good news is if you execute the plan, the exit strategy, listen, we have success stories. And
there are success stories.
And it's undeniable.
You've seen people who walk out even before the 3 months and said, listen, I'm back on my feet. Thank you for the help.
I had someone come by today, and it was a godsend because with all of this media presence swirling around, you can get down about it.
Yes.
And so a family came. When I first started at the shelter, they came, and so I said, listen, hey, we have a plan. There were 3 persons that were of adult age. It was a mother and 2 daughters. And so I said, hey, let's come together, save $200 each a week, $600. They saved every week, 4 weeks in a month. That's $2,400. In the 3 months, they walked away with $6,000.
Wow.
Got their place in Seabreeze. They said, Miss Darling, we got to get on Japanese.com and try and get us a car. But everything that they needed, they hadn't done it before. No one ever said to them, listen, if you come together, if you pool your money together, this is what can happen. And so I know that the plan works, but you have to work the plan. And it started with the mother making a decision that I don't want to be here anymore. She actually literally sat in my office, cried and said, Miss Darling, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to come back to this. And we worked the plan, and they left. And they're not only leaving, but they're thriving, and they're continuing with the plan.
Wow. So this works.
It works.
I can't help to get away from the fact that there's so much need out there for shelter. How do we beat this problem?
Well, one of the things, I think we have to do it in pockets. I often compare the Bahamas to Hawaii and the Big Island. And basically I see a trend there where people started looking at Airbnbs and renting out their homes, and eventually the natives were living on the beaches in tents.
Wow.
Right? And so we have that potential danger here because we live in paradise.
Right. Everybody can rent anything they got and make some money from it.
And make some money, but we're not looking at the long-term effects in reference to how our families are going to be affected and the nation ultimately is going to be affected. And so the shelter is one small step in this. Just say, hey, listen, we're going to give you a place where you can come and reset. There'll be family members that say, hey, listen, we'll open up and rent a room or whatever it is. We're hoping that it trends and people start to look at family again and community again and not look so much to, I got to make this dollar now while I can.
Yeah. Yeah, you touched on a point that I thought was becoming a concern as well. We live in paradise, so almost anywhere, any community here, if you put a nice little home there or a nice little bed and breakfast, and you advertise it well, you can make significant money from people coming who want to cut the cost of staying in a hotel, want the true island experience, and they rent your Airbnb. So what people could have rented before for living accommodations for people at an affordable price, they're now preserving to put on Airbnb to try and make income. So people can't find places to rent that are affordable anymore because everybody's saving their properties for Airbnb because they can make more money from it. And so you have to now ask yourself, well, what's going to happen in a growing population where people need homes, they need shelter, they need some place to live. If they no longer have access to the market and the market is so oversaturated with the price, we're going to have a serious problem where people cannot afford or find places to live because everybody's renting on Airbnb. And it becomes a crucial issue. And I believe that's where, again, like I said before, government has to begin to be proactive. Do we need to take now one of those old hotels and refurbish it and make it an affordable living condoplex for people who can't afford to get apartments? You're living in that. These are things we have to begin thinking for a growing population that's going to need a place to live, or else that burden is going to fall one place: social services. Because if people can't find a place to live and they can't afford to pay rent, they're going to come and have to access a service. And then what do we do?
Yes, and Clint, and that being said, social services need help. We need the help. We need to, and we have partners who help us, but we need the general public to understand that we need the help. If persons out there may have a building, they could set it up as a shelter, and that will help with the need with we seeing a lot of persons sleeping on the beach, and these families, and we call it the working poor. These people are working, but yet they are maxed out, a lot of them, loans, and so they can't afford apartments. But if we could, persons could just help us. So we need the help, and we always looking for partners to partner with us. And so if there are people out there who have a building who could set it up as a shelter, please go ahead and do it, because we need help.
That's the appeal.
We can't do it by ourselves.
If you could help by providing shelter, please do. Our people need places to live. And I think if we do that, we'll do our part in the country. Ms. Donald, I'll give you the final word before we close.
Well, I just want to say to the public that we're actually that strong arm of compassion. We are endeavoring to do our best. We want to support and strengthen families in this country. And I believe we're headed in the right direction. The shelter has never been really done before. This is the first of its kind for any government to undertake sheltering people under the auspices of social service. And so I'm excited about it. Come and check us out in a year to see where we are. You see where we've begun, but let's revisit this again in a year and see how far we've come.
Ladies, I can't say thank you enough for the work that you're doing as a labor of love. And so thank you for all the hard work you're doing and all that you take. The truth, the non-truth, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Thank you for serving this country. We appreciate it. And of course, I say thank you to your great leader, Permanent Secretary Turnquest, Frederick Ramin Turnquest. She's an amazing woman who hard is with social services, along with our Minister, Miles Rhoda. They want to see and make a difference. So thank you. Thank goodness for good leadership. Thank you both for being on the show, and we appreciate it.
And thank you for having us.
We've got to do our part, folks. Our country don't need to be as good as we all participate. We can't stand on the sidelines and talk about it. We can't go on social media and gripe about it. We've got to be a part of the solution wherever we can and help our brothers. That is our responsibility. That does it for us here in the Rundown. For all of us here at ZNS News, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to stay tuned for the Bahamas tonight at 11 with Royston Jones. I ain't seen him in the... Oh, there he is. Royston's in the building. He has the latest in news tonight at 11. Have a great night, everyone. At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.